I've been missing the way you touch me, baby. Kisses on my neck and the love you gave me.
Hey you guys, welcome back to PJ's Place. Come on in. Alright you guys, I am back with another video, and as you can see from the title and from the setup, I am not reviewing a wig, y'all. First off, let me just say, if you are visiting Miss PJ's Place for the first time, welcome. If you are returning, hey girl, hey, I'm so glad you came back to see me. Alright y'all, so today I am doing something a little bit different, as you can tell. And if you have seen one of my previous videos, I announced that I have launched a blog. And in that blog, I am featuring a segment called Hey Sis, I See You. Because I am featuring someone who is so very dear to me and near to me, Miss Sharon Coleman.
Aww.
Love her so much, y'all. She is, well, let me give you a little bit of background. So, Sharon, actually, I met her via my husband, Daryl, who y'all have met. If you have not looked at our wedding video, the video is up on Miss PJ's Place, so go back and check it out. But Sharon actually is a floral designer, but she's a lady who wears so many hats and has so many talents, and I want to feature her and talk about her so that I can share her with some other people who don't already know who she is. Now, don't get me wrong. People know who she is, but everyone who watches my channel may not be familiar with who she is, and she has done a lot of other things that I want to share with you guys. And one of the things that I want to do on Miss PJ's Place is to be a vehicle to share and support other women. So anyway, y'all, I present to you Miss Sharon Coleman. I want to allow her to talk about herself. I'm going to ask her some questions, so we're going to get started. So, hey sis.
Hey, honey.
I love her so much. Okay, y'all. So if you looked at the video, the wedding video, she designed, well, I gave her my vision, and she created and designed the floral arrangements and the floral decor. TT, I refer to her as TT because she is my husband's aunt. And so, yes, tell me a little bit about who you are.
Well, first, I want to say thank you to you for having me. It is such an honor just to sit with you and to talk. And so first, that's what I want to say is thank you.
You're welcome. How much I love you.
So she is a sweetie pie. Y'all already know that, right? And I'm so glad to be here today. As she has already said, that this is my niece now, okay? So we met through my nephew, and I did her wedding because my name is Sharon Coleman, and I own Ritzee's Florist.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
That's okay. Hey, that's okay. That's okay, right? So I own Ritzee's Florist, and she came, and she had these brilliant ideas. And she wanted something that really hadn't even launched in Memphis. But because I travel excessively, then I had seen some of her ideas. Not her idea, but some of her ideas. And so we designed her wedding with the
Pampas grass.
Pampas grass, right. Yeah, because I call it all kinds of grass.
You just call it that grass,
Humus
that dry grass.
The dry grass, the grass.
Yeah.
But she had some of the most gorgeous ideas, and so we had to travel afar to pull it all together. And so that's how we met, and it was a joy from beginning, and it still is a joy now.
Aww.
And I'm just glad to be here. So I've been in business like 37 years now.
So that is one of the things that I really wanted to touch on. So in celebrating women, as you know, March is Women's Month, or International Women's Month, and this feature is really focused on her as a business owner. Women's History Month. She actually has made history here in the city of Memphis. So if you are from Memphis, and I did fail to say or state her business, so it is Ritzee's Florist. I know if you're from Memphis, you have heard of it, but she has so many hats that she wears. It's not just boxed into being a florist or a floral designer, as I like to call her, because she does decor, she is an author, she's a playwright, and we're going to talk a little bit more about all of those things that she does. So the purpose of this video, again, is to just kind of highlight women who are in business and who to inspire others. I know that my channel is geared towards women who are mature, but I know that I have some young ladies who watch me, and I want to talk about that. So you said that you've been in business for over, is it 30 years you said?
38
okay.
years.
38 years. So tell us a little bit about how you started Ritzee's Florist, or how you became a business owner.
Well, I actually started as an accountant. So that's where my degree and my background is in doing accounting. And then I worked so long for I want to say small business, that I learned how to run a small business. So I didn't really start out in the corporate world. So being under a small business, then I had the desire to become a small business owner. And so my mother and my bonus mom, they both created with their hands. One knitted and one crocheted. And somehow or another, I just kind of took on flowers. I took on flowers, and I learned that I enjoyed it. So I would do it in my den, and then people just started asking, hey, are you going to do anything for Mother's Day? Are you going to do anything for Valentine's Day? Are you going to do anything? And so I thought I better get an EIN number.
Wow.
And a checking account.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And make it legal. And it was such a joy to do flowers and interior decorating that I just fell in love with it. But I fed the business through my accounting career. And then once I saw that the business could stand on its own, then I just went into it full time.
From there. Yeah. And that speaks a lot to doing what you're passionate about, because a lot of times when you're working in the corporate world, I know that I have been in that space where you're working to make that check, but you're not necessarily happy, and I'm not saying that was the case for you, but doing something that you're passionate about really does kind of take you to another place where it's really God leading you, kind of.
Yeah, it takes you to freedom.
Exactly.
It can be quite frightening to jump from stability, security of a check.
Right.
Because I got paid really well as an accountant, but I did not have the freedom that I have. I work longer, but I enjoy every moment of it. And I have branded myself where I don't let it become boring. I don't let it become a headache. I have the most wonderful clients like you and my nephew, and not just because Daryl is my nephew and not because you're my niece, but because you all allowed me to just create the new, create differently. And then you had a budget for me to create out of. And that's what I love about being in business for yourself, branding quality, giving quality, and just designing, just being free, So I really enjoyed doing your wedding. And entrepreneurship is not just about owning your business. It's about working the business.
Right.
And it's about having a future with the business. And so I'm in love with Ritzee's. Ritzee's has opened many other doors for me. And so it's hard to let go. I don't think I will ever retire.
And we don't want you to.
I think I will.
So you have said something that is really key. And I do want to touch on that because it has opened a lot of doors for you. Because as I said, she wears a lot of different hats. So, but before we get to that, I do want to ask you, as a business owner, owner, what advice would you give to young women who are also wanting to, or say they have that desire to be a business owner? What advice would you give them, if any, because this is Women's History Month, you've been in business for over 38 years. What advice would you share with a young business owner?
So I would tell a young business owner or a beginner or one that desires to become a business owner is to first, get your mind right. And what I mean by that is you must treat your business as a business. And because I don't have anyone over me, I am the boss. That does not mean that I am not going to get up at 7 o'clock. I get up every morning at 7, and after I say thank you to God, I go to work. Right. And that's consistent.
That is the key.
So consistency and treating it as if you have a boss that is watching over you is the key. And so I'm very consistent. As a matter of fact, I have to learn not to do too much overtime. Right. So
that is some very good advice. That is key.
You.
And I say that because a lot of young ladies watch YouTube. They'll see women or people who are doing things and they say that they want that. I have a 25-year-old daughter who wants it, but they don't always want to do the work. So that's some very good advice.
Yes. Yeah. And it's quite rewarding. It's very, very rewarding. And if you go in business for yourself, just do a things to do list until you're just used to it. Get up at 7 o'clock and then do a things to do list and check off everything as you go. And with me, I don't need a things to do list. I need a things to do not list.
Well, that says a lot about you. That means you're a workaholic. But that's okay.
But I try not to really be that workaholic because really a workaholic is not success. Did you know that?
No, I actually never heard that.
It's not success. Yeah. Success is freedom. But dedication to the business. I play hard too. Yeah. So I work hard and I play hard. So
those are some gems. Now that's some really good advice.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's transition into talking a little bit about, and I do want to say, so just to recap about the work that she did for our wedding, I gave her my vision and she totally ran with it. We are going to insert some photos. So if you looked at our wedding video, you probably saw some of it, but I want you to get a good look at the reception area. She did all of the flowers and all the decor, but the reception area was impeccable. I still have people commenting on how beautiful it was. So
it was.
I gave her a vision in my mind and it was like everything that I wanted and more. It exceeded that. So yeah.
She had flowers hanging out of the ceiling.
Yeah, we did. We had
it was really beautiful. But it said a lot about your personality. So that's another thing, is that when you're in business, you have to go a little bit over what the client wants. Because with Pam, she told me what she wanted, but her personality said the rest. And so when you're branding yourself, you get personal, which I do. I get personal with my client. And I just fall in love. Sometimes they have to tell me, okay, you're good, you're good. But so
she's an overachiever. It was so beautiful. People were like, oh, the room just looked like you.
Yeah, right. And it did. It looked just like her.
Yeah. I can't say that enough.
It was gorgeous. Yeah.
So let's also talk a little bit about some of the other things that you have done, because y'all, this is not just a floral decor designer. She is a playwright and an author, as I stated. So talk to me a little bit about the books that you have written and your play. Share with us some of the other things that you've done.
So I'm sure some of you have heard the saying, it's biblical, too much is given, much is required. So I was given more than the talent of flowers and interior decorating. I was also given a talent that was more of a ministry, counsel. So from counseling people, I didn't want to be a pastor, because I like wearing my little short dresses. Not that I'm sure.
Right,
I'm
no,
sure
right.
God is cool with that. You know, I do it in order. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't think my place was in the pulpit. But I knew that I had a place,
Right.
and I felt that deep in my heart. And so I became. That's how From Rags to Riches birthed.
Okay.
Because I became the author of
We want to show.
stories. So, like From Rags to Riches. And then I wrote From Rags to Riches Cycles. And so I'm an actress, so
Right, she is. I didn't mention that. I'm telling you, y'all.
well, you know, I mean,
Every woman.
I don't know, but anyway, so I have done motion pictures, and storytelling is a little bit different now. TV is a lot of sex, it's a
Right.
lot of evil, it's a lot of fighting and shooting, and so I didn't really want to take up on those roles. You know, I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to do sex. I didn't want to do a lot of evil. So then I started writing. I wanted to talk about truth. I wanted to talk about rags, and not just financial rags to riches, but rags, the kind of rags that people go through, like all these different dysfunctional behaviors that
Right.
goes throughout all of our families.
Yes.
And we know what they are. They can be teenage pregnancy, molestation, drugs, alcohol.
Right.
It could be just a broad
An array of things. That we all deal with.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I started writing, and I just told everything that I thought as a child that was raggedy for me.
Okay.
And then it just kept going and going and going. And then I wanted to talk about riches, but I wanted to talk about more of a biblical riches. How did I heal from my rags? So I began to write From Rags to Riches, and then I left from there. And after I got married, and I've been married 38 years as well,
Wow.
so I wanted to talk about cycles, the different things that repeats themselves, and how do we break cycles, bad cycles, and how do we pick up good cycles. So I wrote From Rags to Riches Cycles. And then I was led to write plays. So I started writing plays to my books.
Okay.
So,
And so they've both been produced as plays. Is that correct?
yes, they have both been produced as plays, successfly produced. And so we have been to the Cannon Center, we've been in schools, we've been in West Memphis, Arkansas, and we were actually on a tour.
Absolutely.
We were on a tour, and then
Fabulous.
COVID happened,
Yeah.
and then bam.
But that's okay, because we're working our way through that.
Yeah,
and,
we're
you
working
know,
our way through it. And, you know, and now what I'm doing is I'm launching some Airbnbs. So that's another thing that I want to say about being a business owner is if we are led, and I am, by a good spirit, and you follow that good spirit. Sometimes we go to the left, we go to the right, and we may go and we may dabble a little bit on this talent, that talent, because we have so many different talents, just like you're now blogging, and you know, you do all the different hairstyles with wigs, and I just love it, because I'm like, oh my God, I gotta learn how to do this, because you're just always so natural looking and so gorgeous with your different styles, and I'm like, this is amazing. And now that has branched off, and now you're blogging, and now you're talking to other women, and these are all talents, and they're all coming in full circle.
Absolutely.
And so that's exactly what happened with me. Just everything, just, you know, Ritzee's open to doors and doors and doors
has
and doors.
taken you to places that you probably almost never really imagined. You know?
Never.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot to be said about being led by God.
Yes,
So I'll say it.
yes.
I know you said it higher. spirit, but yeah, being led by God and
Yeah.
Him having His hand on you and allowing Him to direct your path and following through with that. So
Yes,
that is
yes.
something to say.
I walk blindfolded with
Because you know
God,
He's
and I
got
know
you.
that He's
Yeah.
leading me in the right way. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your Airbnbs. I do want to ask you this question though. So, what would you say motivates you most about being an entrepreneur? Because I think a lot of times people get it twisted and want the financial gain to be their motivation. And I'm not saying if that's what somebody wants to do, but talk to me a little bit about what motivates you.
Well, what motivates me is to have a destiny and to know where the ending is. So I know what my end looks like. And in order for me to meet that goals of my end, then I'm motivated to get up, get at it, stay at it, stay persistent. And because that's a goal for me, my destiny. And my destiny is to just, I'll just be straight. I just want to wake up to the ocean. I just want to wake up to the ocean, and I am so close. I wake up to the lake, okay, because I live in Memphis and I live in Las Colinas, Texas. So, of course, we have to compromise as we go to our destinies. And so now that I've been faithful over a few and several things, then I hear that little quiet voice say, go look for that place on the ocean.
Well, I want to get there. I'm trying to be like you.
Oh, you'll get there. So, so knowing your ending will motivate you or should motivate you to stay consistent if you know your ending, because that'll tell you got to get up, get at it, stay consistent, and make it happen.
That's deep. So let's talk a little bit about your new endeavors, the real estate side of you, the Airbnbs. I know a lot of you who watch Miss PJ's Place are not from Memphis, so we're going to talk about her Airbnbs because, honey, if you ever come to Memphis, you might want to rent her Airbnb. So let's talk about it.
Well, and we go back to Ritzee's. Ritzee's opened the doors to other opportunities. And so, to much is given, much is required. So, whether I have 9 talents or 2 talents, then I must master all talents. And so, I had no idea that real estate would become a part of this whole package. But, of course, when we got married, as you did, then we also have ideas that comes from our husband.
That's right, we do, honey.
Yes.
They do. Give us ideas.
Yes. And so...
And it's so good to have someone who pushes you and supports you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to say that being a business owner, it is very important that we have that mate that supports our ideas.
Absolutely.
They support our mistakes. They carry the camera bag. They pick up, the chairs. They put the tablecloths down. It's just such embracing.
It really is.
To have that support, And if you don't have that support, well, I'm going to let you and God talk about that, because there's going to be a hindrance there.
Right.
But I have that support. So my husband and I, we bought what we would call, they called it a mansion back then.
It is a mansion, y'all. We are in the mansion, and we're going to show you some of her designs towards the end of the video. But yeah,
well,
it's a huge house.
I called it a big raggedy house. Okay, that's what I called it. Okay, and it became a goal that I thought would be short term, but it turned out to be long term. But persistent work, it turned out to be a gem. So I never forget that I purchased this home, and my husband was in Dallas, so he really had nothing to do with this. I purchased a home, but then when I realized how much money and time that we had to put in it, like 14 years, then I wanted to blame him. I wanted to blow the house up a couple of times and just move on back to Collierville, but that wasn't happening. And he, being the man that he is, kept saying, we can do this, we can do this, we can do that. So we worked hard. Put our money in it, save money, more money. And then we had what at first they called a shed in the back.
Okay.
But the shed were 3 houses.
It's not a shed. It's like a guest house. It's a whole home.
So it's like 3 houses that were behind the 4-story home. And there again, being led blindfolded by God and being persistent, I kept just chipping at the block. Chipping. There were days that we just didn't have the money. Had we had $500,000-$600,000 to invest, $600,000, we could have just got done with it, but we didn't have it. So we had to sporadically put money in it as we got that extra money. But I want to tell y'all this, fast forward. We are launching 3 Airbnbs that, oh my God, that sat behind what used to be one of our mayor's homes.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Low?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so it's a beautiful 4-story home in the front, and then there's 3 Airbnbs in the back. And so it goes back to Ritzee's. My clients want more than flowers. They want more than interior decorating. So I have to paint. I have to do flowers out of the ceiling, like for your wedding.
She's a
I
coordinator.
had to go find all these flowers all over the world. She had me going to Miami. She had me going to Dallas. I was shipping flowers home.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it though. And so I thought, well, Ritzee's needs to grow. Because everybody can go to a florist, but can your florist house you?
Exactly.
Can you have...
I'm having a wedding, you got to fly people in.
Yeah.
She's got the Airbnb.
I got you. We got a little clubhouse, 15, 20 people, you know. You can have your engagements.
She can counsel you, because the first time I met her, she had me crying, taking my eyelashes off, y'all. Oh, Lord.
Well, you know, I counsel based on experiences. I'm very transparent.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. So also, tell us the address for Ritzee's Florist if someone wants you to be their floral designer or get anything from you. You guys, she does so many arrangements. Like for Valentine's Day, she had hundreds of flower orders. Oh my goodness, she's always busy. So I want you to be able to, especially if you're local, but I don't know, do you also ship or do you do?
Yeah, we ship. So we do everything from my specialties. I love to do weddings, and I love to do funerals, and I love to do interior decorating. But we paint, we do everything. So, but if you need my assistance, you just call me up, 901-525-1645.
So, tell us how we can get your books.
So you can call me if you want me to autograph the book, and you can get it 901-525-1645. The books are at Barnes & Noble. Also, you can go online and you can buy them through my publisher, which is Author House. And I think that's about it. But if you Google it, it'll lead you right to purchasing it. Yeah.
And I will leave the information on how you can get her books in my description box down below. Y'all know how to access that. So I'll have that information as well. And we are also going to show you guys some of her work. We're going to put up pictures, of course, of the wedding, but we're going to take a little bit of a tour. Is that okay? Of your office space?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're going to do that. So I just want to say thank you so much, TT.
Aww.
Sharon Coleman, for coming on Miss PJ's Place. You are the first interview that I've done for the Hey Sis.
Hey.
I see you.
I see you too, sis.
Y'all know how important it is to me for us to be able to support each other. I don't just review wigs on this channel. So I want to say to you guys, thank you so much for coming back to visit me here at Miss PJ's place. We're going to take a tour. I'm going to insert some clips of some of her designs. But thank you for coming back to visit me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share me with anyone that you think would enjoy the kind of videos that I put up on this channel for the mature lady. And until another video, you guys, that's that.
Hey, that's that. See ya.